I played 30 days of Moonlight Peaks, and the reason why I wanted to make this video is because I'm aware that for an indie game, a lot of people are finding that this one is a little bit more expensive, which is true, it is. So I thought a video like this that gives you the first 30 days was a really good indication of whether or not you would actually like it, especially because I think the first 30 days in a game is kind of like a good first impression. Like, you'll know if you like a game in the first 30 days or not. So that's why I wanted to record this video, and I really hope it does give you an idea of whether or not this game is worth the money for you by just seeing some extra gameplay and that kind of thing. So without further ado, let's get into the first 30 days of Moonlight Peaks, and we'll see if it's something that you want to play. So we're starting it off with character customization. I name my character CozyMamaJess, of course, and I pretty much name every land or island or whatever off of my son, but I decided to put a little vampire twist on it. It's silly. I name my pet after my actual cat, Minnie. I never know if I should try to do my actual skin color or a fun fantasy one like blue. I really like that you can make it so you have two different eye colors in this game, and the hairstyles are so cute. I actually love them. I went back to see if I wanted to pick a different skin color to go with my hair, like maybe purple or something, but I ultimately settled on pink. I don't know why I'm so into the pink right now. I think it's because I'm finding my pink back in real life, so I wanted to create a really whimsical character that reflected that. The clothes are not my favorite, so I'm hoping we'll get better clothes later on in the game. So these are the opening scenes for day one. I guess I got into a fight with my father, and I'm leaving my castle, and I'm taking my bed with me. I'm running away from home, but at least I get to take my cat. My mom is obviously sad. Something must have happened. I do love when a farming or life sim type of game gives me some lore at the beginning of the story, so I understand the point of the gameplay. So already I'm liking that. I guess I'm unhappy with my dad's rules, but I'm moving to Moonlight Peaks now, and here I am arriving at my parents' old house. It's definitely on a nice property, but like all farming sims, it has a lot of work to do. The house is pretty messed up, so I'll have to fix that one up for sure. I like that I can already see what kind of decor options are available to me, but of course I have no materials, so I'll have to go get some. I'm also assuming there will be more available later because in the demo there was tons, so yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Looks like I get to change my clothes if I want. I can also cook meals, so that's fun. When I leave my house, there's a man just laying on the ground, in which I decide to poke him with a stick. That didn't work, so I guess I have to dump water all over him. We find out that this man is hung over and passed out on my lawn, and of course he has no idea who I am. He wants me to make him some homemade red wine, which is wild, so now I have to farm him the ingredients in order to do that. He hands me blood grape seeds so I can get started. I'm left wondering the importance of this man, but I digress. He also wants me to introduce myself to the townsfolk, which is always fun. First, I'll plant his blood grape seeds. I find the farming mechanic really easy and smooth, which I love. It's not clunky at all, but off to find this Victor guy. I enter into a crypt to find a very outgoing bat. This is Victor, and apparently he's my uncle. He really just wanted to help me with farming, but I don't need the help, so I'm going to go and meet some new people now, which I'm so excited because I get to go exploring. Okay, so I'm today years old when I find out that I'm part of the Dracula family, and this mayor is not too happy. He seems like he's very busy and very mean, and he called my plot a mess, which rude. Ridge Logan is a vibe. He's very lumberjacky, which I like, and his brother is also the mayor. Also, seems like there's some rumors about my family, which is weird. This reminds me, I still don't know why my dad and I got into a fight. Looks like I need to register myself as a member of the town, so that's added to my quest list now. In meeting some of the townsfolk, I love how much personality they all have. Like, I find myself giggling at the dialogue, and it just feels really natural and not robotic, which I like. But upon wandering around trying to meet people, I'm quickly realizing how gigantic this map is. I actually love that in a game, so that makes me really happy. But I want to stay on track, so I try to get myself back to the town center. I wander into this big mansion and realize I'm right where I'm supposed to be to register myself as a member of Moonlight Peaks. And I also meet my new chest, which literally has teeth, and I'm told he'll be sent to my plot shortly. The mayor says my picture doesn't show up in the camera, so he decides to draw me instead, and I literally laughed out loud at the result. I continue on and try to meet as many people as possible while doing a bit of foraging at the same time, but it's time for me to get home so I don't burn alive in the daylight. I'm having a lot of fun wandering in and out of different shops and buildings and getting to know the town and the map. I've kind of done all I can do with my current quest, so I'll head back to my farm and put my gal to bed. Looks like I'm waking up to a knock at my door, and my lumberjack friend is here wanting to fix my roof, but I'll need to gather 50 wood for him to do it free of charge. I also seem to have a letter in my mailbox, and it looks like Luna has some animals who need a home, so that's exciting. I'm excited to see what she has available and what kind of animals I can have on my farm. But first, I need to water my plants, but I ran out of water, so I have to go fill it back up. There's also a lot of bugs running around, and hopefully I get a bug net soon because I love catching bugs in these games. Next, I get started on collecting my wood. I definitely have a lot here on my own farm, so I start there. I finished collecting my 50 wood and head to find the lumberjack, but when I do, Orlock, the guy who passed out on my lawn, is causing a scene in the town square. It seems as if someone cursed a bridge and Misty Shores. It seems like it was maybe an act of jealousy from a witch. But what actually happened is Orlock made a joke at this witch gal's expense and she retaliated. Yikes. Anyway, Orlock's kids are upset because they want to get home and they can't. So now I need to talk to Orlock to see if I can reason with him. So I definitely have a lot to do so far on day 2. I need to go talk to Orlock, go and talk to Luna about the animals, and deliver wood to my lumberjack friend. Now, I don't know if it's a glitch, but I can't seem to talk to Orlock, so I'll go find Luna. But on the way to Luna's farm, Noelle is basically yelling at me about fishing, but at least now I have a fishing rod and get to learn how to fish. Again, with the funny dialogue, fishing seems to be very easy in this game. I fish a little bit before heading up to Luna's farm to learn about the animals. Looks like she has a funny little chicken, or should I say chickens, available. My son would love that because he's obsessed with chickens in real life, so that's what I immediately think of. So now I need to go find the lumberjack, whose real name is actually Ridge, because he needs me to build a place for my chickens to stay, and I need to give him wood so my roof doesn't collapse on me. I found Ridge in the forest and delivered my wood, but looks like I'll need to visit his shop when he's working for the barn, and I'm assuming I don't even have those materials right now. It's about 3 a.m., so maybe I'll have time to catch another fish before bed. It seems I'm too tired and it's already 4 a.m., and I'm not sure what time I can stay out till, so I'm going to go to bed. The days are actually pretty long in this game. I wake up and Orlock is at my door, and he gives me the blueprint for a keg so I can make his wine. It's also raining, so I don't have to water my crops today. Win. I'm going to immediately carry on with the tasks I couldn't get done last night, like catch my last fish and talk to Orlock. But because I don't have a lot on my plate today, I'm happy to check out more of the town and wander into some of the pretty shops. I'm finally able to talk to Orlock about his attitude. He runs away and doesn't want me to follow him, which of course I do. He literally wants me to pay his bar tab, which is 350 coins, in order for him to apologize to Fiona. That's crazy. This guy is a piece of work. I don't have the money right now, so I'm going to find Noelle about the fishing challenge. He doesn't seem to be on the map, so I'm going to go to some of the areas I haven't been yet. I like these giant frog things that sell all sorts of random stuff. I can't find the Noelle guy anywhere. I'm going to buy some seeds while I'm here, or actually maybe not because I need money to pay that guy's tab. I give up on finding Noelle, so I'm going to head home and plant some seeds, but first I got to make room on my plot. I sold a few flowers and then decided that it was a good time to put myself to bed. I woke up on day 4 to my cat complaining about her sleeping situation, so they gave me the blueprint to make them a new bed. When looking up how to make the coffin cat bed, I immediately got excited about all the crafting options, like the coffin bookcase I'll get to make eventually. I have to go and gather dark wood to make my cat her bed, but before I do that, Victor drops by about a bird eating my crops, so I also have to add making a scarecrow to my list. I was able to make the scarecrow right away, which is good, so I go and place that, and then I get to work collecting dark wood for the cat bed. I'm realizing I actually don't know where to find dark wood, so I need to figure that out next. I think I need to upgrade my axe. I have to go to the carpenters anyway, so I'll figure that out there. While I was there, I actually saw the guy I have to pay Orlock's debt to and had the money, so I was able to take care of that quest at the same time, which was a total fluke. So now that I'm talking with Ridge, I realize I'm nowhere near in a financial position to buy a barn or even an upgrade to my axe, so it's obvious I need to focus on making money for the next few days so I can tackle some of these quests. It's kind of cool because I'm also seeing that I can buy a ton of furniture and decor from Ridge too, so I'll be keeping that in mind for later. I also completed the fishing quest with Noelle and managed to convince Orlok to apologize, but that has yet to happen, so we'll have to see, and that's day 4. I wake up and realize my house is complete trash, and I noticed earlier that I could make some flower pots and some other small furniture items, so I decided to do that to add a little pizzazz to my ugly home. I end up making a flower pot, some hedges, and a little whimsical stump. I also didn't realize I could clean up the weeds and the stone in my home to make it a bit nicer, so I do that immediately. When I leave my house, it also looks like my roof is done, so that's nice. I think I want to date Ridge, so I hope he's romanceable because he kind of actually looks like my husband in real life. Anyway, I really need money, so I noticed there's a giant fish in the lake, but I can't seem to catch it. I'm wondering if there's some technique I need to catch it or if I just need a better rod. Nonetheless, I better start collecting stuff to sell. I also need to collect some resources so I can actually craft, so I stay busy doing that for a while, and that's day 5. I actually end up making pretty good money from fishing and forageables. I wish it gave me a breakdown of what each item was worth. And looks like Mina came to see me today. It seems Orlok has decided to apologize for real, which has made his daughter happy, and hopefully we can clear out that spell. She wants me to head to Fiona's house, and she also paid me back for paying her dad's at bar tab, and this is definitely feeling like a sad storyline. Anyway, I need stone to make a refiner, so I start collecting that because I need a refiner to progress in the game. While I'm mining the stone, I find a diamond which sells for $2,000 each. I've also collected enough stone to make the refiner, and my poor cat, I forgot about his bed but realized I can also make his bed, so I make that too because I have all the materials. I don't have the right wood for the color I want, so I just settle for pink. In order to actually place the bed, I had to rearrange my furniture and realized I could get rid of the trash by being in decorate mode. Learn something new every day. I'm also realizing how far I've come without a storage box, which is actually crazy. Because my farm is complete trash right now, I placed my refiner in the middle of the field and will worry about aesthetics later. I'm not sure how long it'll take to make my planks, so I decide to go to Fiona's house, and on the way, I end up stumbling upon a little market in town, which is cute. Nothing really caught my attention, so I leave, and once I get to Fiona's, it seems that Orlok is kind of a douche, for lack of a better phrase, but he does end up apologizing, and we find out that Fiona has no idea how to lift the curse, so I have to ask some friends for help. I head over to the curse bridge, and it looks like the curse over Misty Shores has now been lifted with the help of the witches and warlocks. My cat tells me that my house has storage, which is helpful because I didn't remember that, so I immediately clear out my backpack. I wake up and my uncle tells me I can make a mill so I can process the stuff I grow. I also seem to have mail. Mom sent me $1,000, which is awesome. I may actually be able to afford some of these things I couldn't before, like a barn, but probably better get an axe first. My grapes are also ready, which means I need to make my keg so I can make wine for my good buddy Orlok. I also have potatoes ready. I collect enough wood to make my keg, and then I get to work making Orlok's red wine. While I'm waiting, I head to the carpenter to see if I can upgrade my axe, but the carpenter shop is closed. But one of the werewolves, I forget his name, said there's some drama with the mayor, so I'll go check that out in a new to me area called Crest Garden. Sounds like a crest was misplaced and the mayor is accusing Orlok of stealing it, which he adamantly denies. I'm suspicious of Ludo, though, to be honest. I think he had something to do with the missing crest. I need to talk to a bunch of people and get them to meet us at the bar, but only one is showing up on the map, so I have no idea where anyone is. There's a whole section of the map I haven't opened up yet, so maybe they're there. I can't access that part of the map, so I have no idea. So I'm realizing that if they're in their house, they don't show up on the map. I don't know where anyone lives, so I'm just going to head home and go to bed for tonight. So I'm looking for somebody named Eris, and I checked the map and I don't know where he is, but it said I could also head to the Broken Lamp, so I head there. Now we have to meet tomorrow morning at some spooky area that seems to have freaked out one of the characters. I also like this cutscene because we get to see some of the personality from the characters. I'm going to spend tonight trying to find Eris, and hopefully my wine will have finished brewing by then. I'm also going to try and upgrade my axe. After the Broken Lamp, I find Eris faster than I thought. I head over to Ridge's place to upgrade my axe and realize I need copper ore, which is unfortunate because I don't know how to get copper ore. I decide to buy a barn, and then I realize I have no room on my farm to put it, so I guess I'm going to spend the rest of the day clearing out my farm and figuring out how to get copper. I failed at finding copper ore last night, no idea where that is, but the good news is my wine is ready, so I better deliver that to Orlok, and then maybe I need to Google about the ore because I can't do much without a better axe. Looks like I also have some wheat and onions ready to harvest, so that's good for a bit of extra money, not to mention recipe ingredients, because because I really need to cook some food so I can get my energy up during the day while I try to clear out my lot. Also forgot I bought a bunch of seeds last night, so I'm ready to plant those too before heading out for the day. Oh shoot, I also just looked at my quests and forgot I need to go to the Howling Marshes to try and lift this dang curse, so I better do that quick. I'm actually not sure where this place is, so I'll head to Crest Garden and hopefully figure it out from there. Okay, it's not there, so where the heck is this place? Oh, okay, found it, and not really a big fan of Ludo so far. Ooh, I was right, Ludo is sus. Before continuing on with that quest, I delivered the wine to a very drunk Orlok, and he gave me a wine rack blueprint in return, which is nice. So to get this crest back, I need to give Yabis the toad a copper bar, which is annoying since I have no idea where to find copper. I guess I know what I'm doing tomorrow, but first I'll need a furnace. Oh, Ludo just told me where to find copper. Woohoo! Maybe he's not so bad after all. I know today is the day I need to find these mines so I can get copper ore, but as I'm on my way to try and find it, I get struck by a love arrow and fall in love with a tree. Anyway, off I go to try and find the Cave of Echoes, and I've checked every cave I can think of and I can't find it. So I check Google and it says it's in Misty Shores, which is blocked off. So now I have no idea what to do. I'm a total noob and realize that I can now enter Misty Shores because duh, the witch lifted the curse. So I head through and I make my way over to the mines so I can get copper ore, although I realize I actually don't have much time. So I just explore a bit of Misty Shores instead and decide to mine tomorrow. But hey, new flowers are here. I finally make it to the Cave of Echoes and find out what to do with all the little pets running around the island. They're actually called Vampsters and they want to be brought back to the Cave of Echoes. So I have a new quest under my belt. Anyway, time to start mining for copper ore. Once I've gathered a ton of copper ore, I explore Misty Shores a bit before heading to the carpenters to hopefully upgrade my tools. As I'm wandering around, I realize it's about to be morning and I probably need to turn my ore into bars anyway, so I head home to do that before going to bed. But I don't have a furnace, so I'm gonna go to bed and figure all that out tomorrow. I start the day off trying to remember a conversation I had a while back about making a furnace, but I can't remember it. It doesn't seem to be in my craftables. I check the mail and I have a love letter from a tree and a letter that says need a furnace, so that's a good start to my day. And it's from Ridge. Rawr. I need refined stone to make my furnace, and I didn't have enough stone to make as much as I need, so I start hitting rocks just around my property. I now have enough to make my furnace, so I get to work making the copper bars, and I don't have enough charcoal, but I have enough wood to make charcoal, so I do that. While I'm waiting, I head over to Ridge's to find out what I need to upgrade my tools because I can't remember, and it's closed. So I get to work making copper bars, but I only make 4 because I don't know if I need the actual ore or not, and then I head to bed. I'm heading to Ridge's immediately today so I can see what I can do about upgrading my tools, and it's closed again today, but I can still deliver copper bar as part of my quest to get the crest back from Rabis, so I'll work on that today. This quest results in a hilarious cutscene with Yabis puking up the crest in a rainbow puke stream, but hey, at least we have it back and the story continues. Something I love is that it looks like there are other crests that need to be placed, so I think it's really cool that there's going to be a whole story to this game. I can't really do much else today, so that gives me some time to clean up my farm a bit until I run out of energy and go to bed. I wake up on day 14 to a really interesting cutscene with a new character, which is fun, and I get thrust into a mysterious quest of collecting moonflowers. Apparently, more to this character and mystery will be revealed later, and it's time to start my day. I water my plants and then head to Ridge's again, but I get caught into a cutscene with the locals where a dinner is being planned to settle some rivalry, and I'm the one handing out the invitation. And Ridge's is freaking closed again today. What the heck? So I set on handing out invitations for the dinner instead. I finished handing out the invitations and now it's time to attend the dinner party, which ends up being a total disaster and results in me turning into a hell kitten, which I think unlocks an ability to turn into a cat when I want. As a cat, I basically get to zip around at ultra speed, which is awesome. I spend the rest of the day once again cleaning up my farm before going to bed. I water and harvest my crops, and you know I'm already heading over to Ridge's, but on the way I get stalked by an owl on the job board, and now I get to accept jobs from the locals for extra money and rewards, so yay. At this point I feel like I'm being trolled because I don't even get it. The carpentry shop is closed for the 3rd day in a row, which is maddening. I checked the calendar and it says it's supposed to be open today because it's Monday, so is this some sort of a glitch in the game? I'm actually annoyed, to be honest. I guess I'll clean up my farm for now. I have to catch some of those vampire animal things and I have time, so I decide to do do that for a bit. As I head there with the little vampire cutie animal, I meet a hooded creature at the cemetery. Death, I assume. Yes, it's Death. I like that he's in a Hawaiian shirt, and it made me drop my vampire pet. I feel like I should just go to bed at this point. Finally, the Howling Hammer is open. I'm wasting no time, so I immediately head there. Oop, another cutscene, and with Death. Hey, I've got a bug net. I've been waiting for this. And finally, I got an upgraded axe. I also got a well while I was at it because it's annoying going all the way to the lake to refill my rusty watering can. I need to do this all over again now for a pickaxe, but I don't have enough money for the barn, so I better save up. I did end up spending all my money on some furniture recipes and whatnot too, because why not? I decided to catch a few bugs because it's so fun, and I'm wondering if there's a way to sneak up on the bugs. According to Google, no, so I just gotta work really hard. Ooh, another cutscene with Luna. Looks like I'm going to be getting my wand fixed, and well, I got my wand fixed, sort of. Now it's time to show it to Luna and learn my first spell. Today was a pretty packed day, so I call it a night and I head to bed. Day 17, I do a bit of decorating with the windows that I bought, and I'm also learning bug catching is actually so hard in this game. I wish there was a sneak option. It's like you have to corner them to catch them. It also took up so much of my energy, so what the heck? I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, I better go water the moon fruits. Day 17 is a bit of a bust because I went to go to Luna's farm and water the crops, but nothing happened with my quest, and then I have no energy or food to replenish me to do anything else, and I hardly have any money, so I guess I'll just go to bed. So today it says to go to Luna's farm, so I know that's on my docket for the day, but before I can go do that, Death is at my door with a gift for catching 10 soul blobs, an antique clock, and it lets me slow time, making the nights longer, which seems kind of crazy because I feel like the days are already pretty long in this game. I have 2 letters this morning, one giving me the blueprint for a bee house so I can make honey, and another inviting me to the first festival of the year where I have to make a dish and a gift for a special love interest. I still think that's rich at this point. Anyway, I spent some time on my farm before heading over to Luna's, where we realized the magical crops yielded cute little actual moonflowers or moon fruit. After that, I take a little vampire pet to the mines and mine for a bit of copper ore while I'm there, and that was day 18. Looks like Luna has new magic crops available at her shop, so that's super cool. Also, a lot of my crops popped up today, so I spent a bit of time harvesting them, and I also do a bit of crafting with my crops and materials so I can start making more money and whatnot. One thing is that Elvira wants a raspberry milkshake, and I do have raspberries now, but I don't have the recipe for a raspberry milkshake, so I'm going to go to one of the shops today to see if they sell these recipes. When I head over to town, I get faced with an emotional scene featuring the mayor, who's adamant he'd do everything himself without any help. Anyway, I was able to buy a cookbook, and it looks like there's a milkshake in there, so I head back to my kitchen to see if I'm able to make a raspberry milkshake. So I am able to make a raspberry milkshake, but I need milk, which I don't have. I wonder if I can buy some somewhere until I get cows. I don't think I can buy milk anywhere, so it looks like I won't be able to complete that quest. I did buy a couple of items for the Lovage Festival, though since I'm poor and have no ingredients to cook, I'll be all ready for that. Also, I grab a few more jobs from the job board. 2 of them is people basically wanting to give me trash, but one is a good one where I'll make over $1,000 and be able to afford my barn. Nonetheless, it was a good day and it's time to head to bed. Today is the first day where I don't really have anything pressing to do aside from a few side jobs and trying to save up enough money for a barn. But after doing a few little tasks on my farm, I remember it's Lovage Festival, so I head to the town square. I'll admit the festival is not my favorite part of this game so far. I'm kind of spent wondering what to do and how to get moving. I'm kind of wondering where the heck everybody is and why nothing's really happening. I googled it and it looks like the gift exchange isn't until the next day, which is kind of weird. At this point, I'm cranky about the festival and I decide to go to bed. I don't know if I'm losing my mind, but I swear it said yesterday was the Lovage Festival, but it says it's today, so I guess it's a multi-day festival, which explains why the festival felt so empty and lifeless. I also got a letter from Mom, which gave me a recipe for mushroom soup, as well as I'm getting the blueprints for herb gardens, which is really exciting. Before I head to Lovage for the second day in a row, I do some work on the farm. I also noticed my wine was finished, so that's going to make me a lot of extra money as well, which gets me closer to having a barn. After that, I head to Lovage. The festival is pretty weak, but I'm doing the Secret Admirer gift exchange, and I chose Ridge, obviously. And ooh, someone got me white tulips. That's cute. I wonder who they were from. I spend the rest of the day kind of running around the island doing little side quests and getting my herb garden prints from Luna. I wake up and make a couple of flower pots for my property just to give it some life. It also set that it's my mom's birthday, but I don't have any way to contact her, so that's sad. I do a bit of farm maintenance before I head off for the day. As I was on my way to hopefully get a barn, I got roped into doing a card game with Dragon. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. I'm skeptical, but hopefully it'll be fun. The card game is actually pretty fun. After the surprisingly fun card game, I head to the carpentry shop to get my barn, and I get caught in another cutscene about Ludo, who's passed out in bed. He seems to be struggling in life a bit, so I help him out by making him pancakes. Finally, I'm able to buy a barn, which excites me because I feel like that's going to open up a lot more opportunities to make some money so I can decorate and stuff. After that, I deliver Orlock his white wine and make an easy G, and then head to Web of Wonders to see Sabrina. I have to collect a few items for her to be able to create this moon essence that can help make food more potent for vampires. Before heading home, I buy a fridge blueprint, and then it's time for me to do a bit of work on the farm until I have no energy, and then head to bed for the day because it's been a busy one. This morning, I decide to start working on some of the quests I have, but I need iron, so I'll have to go upgrade my pickaxe. So off to the carpenter I go to see what I need to make that. But before I do that, I harvest my crops and give them water. I also decide to make 4 more kegs so I can make money faster, because if Stardew taught me anything. Also, I really need to decorate my farm. This keg situation is not it. On my way to figure out my pickaxe situation, I run into Samael. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. And we see a little person with a box or something on their head. And I get to know Samael's more tender side. Interesting. I also notice the Howling Hammer is freaking closed again, which makes no sense because it's Tuesday and it says they're supposed to be open. And I'm wondering if I'm being trolled. And looking at the calendar, I see it's Noelle's birthday, so maybe I'll go give him a gift. Before finding Noelle, I decide to head into the Howling Hammer anyway, just in case. And I get a cutscene with Ridge, which results in getting a new chair blueprint. I don't know about romancing him. As much as I like his look, it feels very platonic. I'm not feeling it, to be honest. I decide to head to the mines for a bit, at least to get some copper ore. I'd also like to point out that I'm significantly improving on my bug catching, so that's a huge win. I was not prepared for the mines, so I've run out of energy really fast and decide it's a good time to turn in for the night. Maybe the Howling Hammer will actually be open like it says it's supposed to be today. Can you tell I'm bitter? Looks like my barn is built. Yay! Today I'll head over to Luna and see what animals I can bring into my barn. I head into town and I get a cutscene from Mina, and it's actually really sad. Her and her brother are rightfully worried about their dad Orlock, but I choose to stay positive for Mina since she's just a kid. When I head to the Howling Hammer, which surprisingly is open, I realize I already have the materials to upgrade my pickaxe, so that feels really positive. I start looking at his shop to see what else I can buy, but I can't upgrade any more tools because I don't have enough copper bar, so I figure it's time to head up to Luna's to look into the animals. Looks like I can only get a chicken for now, which makes me wonder how I'm supposed to get milk in this game. Maybe once I get a chicken, cows will unlock. Anyway, I bought a chicken and named it after my cat. I make 200 fodder and then call it a day, but not before I randomly start redecorating my house by laying new flooring and crafting a whole bunch of stuff to randomly lay on my farm. I have a letter in the mail this morning letting me know that at Web of Wonders there's sunscreen and I can get a free sample. I get sunburns in summer here, what the heck? I gather all my wine and fruit juice, which has been my main moneymaker, go and pet my chicken, and then figure out what I have to do for the day. It looks like I have to go to the mines to get some copper and iron ore, but I need some food to do that. It looks like I have enough ingredients to make a pretty good stew. That gives me about 40 energy. Then I grab a vampire pet and head to the mines. I leave with about 20 copper ore and 31 iron ore, so hopefully that's enough to complete my quest. That pretty much took me all night, so I head home as a cat, pop my ore in the furnace, and head to bed. But I forgot to water my crops, and I don't have any energy to do that, so hopefully they don't all die. Good night. I wake up to find out that I made over $4,000 last night, so that's exciting, and that all comes from my wine and juice that I sell, which is a huge win. None of my crops died, but I'll make sure to water them before anything else today. I have tons of juice to grab today for my kegs, so that's exciting because that means more money for decor and upgrades, and I love that. My chicken has tons of fodder. Life is good. Also, I realize I'm selling so much stuff that I'll probably regret selling later, like rare fish and diamonds and stuff, but I really want to upgrade all my things. I have the nightshade now too to grind it up for Luna, but I don't have the refined stone or iron bar yet to make the mortar and pestle, so that's something I'll be adding to my list today. It's going to take a while for my coal to make, so I head into town to see what I can buy or if any story quests come through. I replace my watering can with a copper one because my rusty one just isn't doing the trick. I stumble into a pub quiz night at the pub, which is really fun, and I actually won. I decide to do Ridge's quest and find his lost tool, but I decide to do a bit of shopping first at the clothing store, which I end up buying some home decor at, and then I go to the cafe. After that, I head to Web of Wonders and upgrade my inventory slot. I search for Ridge's lost axe for what feels like forever. I finally found it, but now the clock is ticking and I need to hurry home and get to bed. I make $5,000 in the night, and it's nice to be making some good money because I was able to buy some home decorations yesterday, which I add to my house, and now make it a little cuter until I can upgrade. Looks like I can get cows now, or calculas, which is awesome, plus pig goats and draculams, so I'll definitely be adding some more animals to my ranch. I do a bit of routine farm tasks, and then I go find Ridge to return his lost axe. I wanted to get Sabrina the copper bars, but I'm missing one copper bar, so I guess I'll have to go to the mines again. Before that, I'm still trying to find Ridge to get him his axe, and I also happen to buy a pig goat on the way. I couldn't afford a cow, which is sad, and at this point I don't know where Ridge is, and I'm tired in real life, so I'm going to call it a day for day 27. This morning proves to be a really great harvest day, and there were tons of butterflies on my lot. I also got a jam maker blueprint in the mail, which is so cottagecore. I love it. My chicken also laid an egg, and I got some fertilizer from her poop. Surprisingly, I had enough resources to make jam. I really need a cuter system to lay out my machines because this is just not it. I need sugar to make jam, so I need to figure that out too. And off to the town I go because I have a couple of quests that I need to do. I check out the little night market while trying to find Ridge, and on the way to find Ridge, I find the little person with a paper bag on her head, and it seems like she's lost and scared. It seems like she's afraid of what she looks like and then runs away when she thinks I'm going to expose her face, which I would never do. I returned Ridge's axe, and now I might try to figure out how to get sugar and fight Dragon's sketchbook. I make an unplanned trip to the mines because I can't find the sketchbook, and I know I have another quest where I need copper and iron bars, but I run out of energy really fast, so I head home to make the bars, and then I head to bed. Day 29 is the first day of summer in Moonlight Peaks, and a bunch of my crops died in the change of the seasons. I work on harvesting my crops and collecting my milk and eggs for my animals, and then I think it's time to figure out what summer is all about in Moonlight Peaks. I actually decide I'm going to head to the mines to stock up on some ore and stone so I can complete some of the quests, but first I'm going to buy some more seeds for my farm and maybe see about getting a mill if I can afford it. One of my favorite parts about a new season is all the new items that you get to forage. So much for getting a mill, because I just spent all my money at the shop. Also, I ran out of time to go to the mines because by the time I got there, it's basically going to be time to rush home. So I just end up doing some cleaning up at the farm and end off day 29. I got a cheese press this morning and found a crow eating my crops, so looks like I need to make another scarecrow. I also made $7,000 yesterday, and now I'm collecting all my fruit juice, so I'm about to go sell that too. I love that I watered these mushrooms and they just sprung up. I make my scarecrow and also a bee house, and I think I need to plant flour around my bee box, so I better go off to buy some. I need $1,000 more before I can buy a mill, so that'll have to wait until tomorrow. I plant my flowers so my bees can produce honey, and then I decide to head to the mine so I can finally get some ore and stone so I can make bars and refine stone so I can advance a bit here. But on the way, I get stopped by a mysterious golden person. I find out that he's a sun god. He seemed kind of weird. Anyway, I head back to the farm after a long day of work. The clock literally starts ticking, but I'm pleased to report I made almost $5,000 overnight, and that's it for day 30. And that's it for my 30 days of Moonlight Peaks. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gives you some good insights on what to expect from the game and whether or not it's worth it for you. But I really feel like, the first 30 days of a game can really show you how addictive the gameplay loop is. It can give you more insights on the story, the characters, and really help you understand, is this something you're going to want to play it more of? Is this going to be something that you're going to sink a lot of hours into? And of course, is it going to be worth the money? So yeah, I really hope you like this. I hope it helped you. And if you like this video, please make sure you hit the like button. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit subscribe so you don't miss out on future cozy gaming videos just like this one. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.